Hey people of the internet, how's it going? Sel here, or Nick, and today I'm going to show you guys how to update a Jurassic Park The Pin, the home edition of Jurassic Park from Stern Pinball. Now, you might have just recently got one of these. I've bought pinball machines in the past, but never for myself, typically for on locations. This is my first machine at home, and I've been enjoying the heck out of it. Got it in November, I'm already at like 700 games on the machine, so I think I like it. There's many reasons you need to update a pinball machine. For instance, this one has a bug or left drains do not register correctly, and there's a couple other like little quirks and things like that. And sometimes when you do a update, unfortunately I do not have the topper for this yet, but there is some code added for the topper if you happen to have it. And then there's also a new skill shot called the Dead Flip skill shot, who's the gentleman, or Jack Danger, that designed this pinball machine along with the rest of his crew. I am rather curious to see the changes that are going to be on the machine, but this is just a quick tutorial, so let's just get into it, tear it down. Now, unlike the Cornerstone machines or regular commercial machines, this does not have a key to get into the back box. You're going to need, I believe it's a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. There's 2 screws on the top to remove the T-molding, and then you have to take the translate off. So we're going to turn the machine off and go ahead and start there. Okay, so you're going to take your number 2 screwdriver, and there's 2 screws on the top here. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and remove one. Okay, so you want to hold this while you're unscrewing the next part, because what's going to end up happening is if you just let go of this whole translate here is going to fall forward on you. So it's not like the commercial machines where it kind of stays in there a little bit. This part doesn't fold forward or anything like this. This is static in here. So this whole piece of molding is the only thing holding this on. So you want to be real careful with that. Okay, so because mine kind of keep broken from the factory, I got to be kind of careful. So normally this would just come off. There's this little handle here that you would normally lift on a normal Stern machine. On this one, because it's the way it is, I have to be very, very careful not to let that nut drop. There we go. Okay. So take your translate out, put it somewhere where it's not going to break. Okay, once you have your translate off and it's stowed away safely, this is the place that you're concerned with. This is the main Brainbox or electronic board for the entire pinball machine. This is part of Stern's Spike 2 node system. This one's technically node 0, and then there's a little network cable right here that connects to a couple other node boards underneath that run like the lighting and the switches and the coils and all that stuff. Okay, next thing for us, for what we're going to do is we're going to go to Stern's website on the support tab. We're going to download the current software. We're going to go ahead and format our USB stick, and then we're going to insert the package inside the USB stick for update. So, I'm using a Macintosh. The rules on PC are very similar. I already checked out the software. It's not zipped, so that's one step away. Some of these updates are actually on zips, but it's not a big deal. Okay, so for this next step, you're just going to go into your computer of choice. In this case, it's a MacBook Air with a M1 in it. And we're going to go to Stern's website. So let's go ahead and do that. And go ahead and start my screen recording here. And works on most web browsers. I haven't seen any that won't work on. And since I have it, I go to Stern a lot, actually. I'm just going to go here. We're going to go down to the support tab. On the drop box, you're going to click on game code. When you come into here, you can type in, say, your game, or you can go down. If it's a recent update, which it looks like they just added Led Zeppelin recently as of today. They're adding a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's going to be like some of the most recent stuff. Turns out this update came out on the 24th last month, and I didn't even know anything about it. So we're going to go ahead here and click on the download file. There's going to be a little EULA. You're going to have to agree to it, and then download game code. Now, it's only like a gig file on this, and it's only one single file, but on some pinball machines, you're actually going to get a zip file that you're going to have to unzip, and there might be multiple files in there. They're called SPKs for Spike. That's what the Spike system reads. But in this case, it's only one single, like 1 gigabyte file. Now you're just going to be patient, let the file download into your system, and then when you're done, you're going to take your USB stick, and in this case, because I'm using a Macintosh, the dongle life, so because it's USB-C only on mine, so that's dongle everything on Apple stuff. Okay, so you're just going to take your USB stick, you're going to insert it into your USB. Simple. Now, on a Windows machine, if I remember, when you go into the File Explorer, when you see the USB stick, you can right-click on it and save format. You want to make sure it's formatted in FAT32 or just FAT. So what we're going to do here on a Mac, though, is we're going to go in, and I typically do this, you can just go into the utilities and find it, but just to make it faster, I just always do Command Spacebar, and then I just start typing in disk, if I could type, and then disk utility will pop up, and you'll see all the drives on here. So I have one here just called stuff. It's already formatted FAT32, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you here. If you needed to, make sure anything precious on here is taken off before you do this. Hit the erase button and just label it whatever. Make sure you have it in FAT32 or MS-DOS FAT. We're going to go ahead and do that, and we're just going to hit erase. It's going to take it a couple seconds, and then it's going to remount, and then you're going to have a formatted into FAT32 disk. So next thing you want to do is you want to go into your Finder or File Explorer on Windows, and you want to go to Downloads. So in Downloads here, I'm going to go ahead and take the SBK file that it downloaded and just put it onto the root of my USB stick. And it could take it about a minute or so just to load it on there, so just be patient with it. And once that is done, you can go ahead and close your Finder, go ahead and drag your USB stick to eject on Mac. On Windows, there's a little space down on the bottom right corner where if you click on it, you might have to click like a little arrow to show more, and you actually see like a little thing that shows like a little USB or whatever. You want to right click that and click eject USB or USB drive, and that's how you safely do it. You just don't want to pull it out of the system. You could end up with a corrupt file on your disk, and then you'll just be like, why is this not working? Why is my pinball machine not updating? Because you didn't safely eject the disk. Alright, so here we have the Spike 2 system, node 0, and we're going to take our updated game code on our USB stick and just put it into one of the USB slots, or as I like to call it, hole, because I think it sounds dirtier. You're going to flip your machine on. It's that simple. No dip switches or anything have to be switched over like on the older machines. And you're just going to give it a second. It's going to read that there's a USB stick in there. Basically, the system, just like a computer, if you're like putting a new like type of like OS or something on there, is going to read anything on the USB stick before it reads on the SD card. So it just knows that's in there, and it's going to go automatically into an update mode. You're going to need the keys that came with your pinball machine. There we go. And you're going to need to have access to the controls. Alright folks, don't be alarmed for this next bit. We're going handheld, so the microphone's going to be a little bit different, just so you can see everything that I'm doing. Okay, so here on the screen you can see game code update. You can see the file that you installed into your USB stick, and you can see that it's giving you instructions on how to install it. So we're going to come over here to the front of our machine, and those keys that you got with your machine you're going to need to open up. And if you ever had to turn the volume up and down on this thing, this is where the controls for that are. So what you're seeing right here is the controls, obviously volume up, down, select, and back. So keep that in mind as I'm talking about these controls. Okay, so to go ahead and update, what we're going to do is hit the black button, select. Now we can do a quick or verify. We're just going to do, I've had no problems with any of the software so far besides like some obvious bugs and stuff like that, so it hasn't been like canceling out or locking up or anything like that is what I should be saying, like locking up. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick update. So I'm hit select again, and now it's going to go ahead through that file and it's going to do an install. This can take about 5-10 minutes. I've seen sometimes these take like 20 minutes. It kind of depends on your USB stick and how fast it can read the data off of it, and how fast the Spike 2 system can actually read it. Okay, so now it says the game code update has been successful. Go ahead and remove the USB stick. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. We'll go right in here and yoink, and power cycle the game. So the switch is right down here. So we're gonna go and turn it back on. So it's just gonna take it a couple moments. And it's going to try to update the node boards underneath the table to control like the switches, the lights, and all that other stuff. So this update is probably a precursor. There is supposed to be actually a stern connected kit for this machine eventually. Alright, so there we go. We have version 1.03. And you might have to wait a minute for it to actually update the node boards. That's pretty typical with the commercial machines too. So there we go, it is updating the boards underneath. Update successful. Alright, all settings restored. And there we go. So now you are ready, unless you want to adjust the volume later, to close up your machine. Okay, all you would normally need to do is have your screws accessible on the top, have your molding on the top, and typically what I do is I take the translate, put it in, put the molding on top while I'm holding it in place, and then start working those screws in by hand. Because for some reason my Jurassic Park came with like one of these things missing that's supposed to be in the metal box, and instead got replaced with one of these small little nuts. I have to do it a little bit differently, so keep that in mind. Now with both screws on, translates in, you're ready to turn the machine on and enjoy the new features of, if you have a topper, I'm jealous of you, and the new dead flip skill shot. Ah, there it is.
Dead flip skill shot!
There it is. Got it. Alright, that's how you update the software on a Stern Jurassic Park the Pin or / home machine. And I hope this was helpful for you. So go ahead, you put all that hard work in, grab a cold brew, in my case a cold water because I'm lame that way, and hope you're able to get all the dinosaurs off the island before the turbo volcano goes off. That's right, Classic Game Room, that one's for you. Anyways, guys like this stuff, hit the like button, follow me, subscribe, whatever it is. I'm old. I barely know how this stuff works. I barely know how this stuff works. See you in the next video. Alright, and... scary without the glass on, isn't it? Okay.
Ooh.
I'm just like...
That was good.
I just don't trust it.
That's good.